All right. Good morning, everybody. 30th of May, 2026. And thanks to the inclement weather in Jeffreys Bay, we have in person Bobby Hammond this morning. Thank you, Bob, for being with us.
Sure.
I know that you've done a recording as well, which we will also share when you give it to us in due course, on this really interesting and important subject to do with our core products of the Neolife amazing product range. I just also at this point, before you start, Bob, can we just remind people that Monday the 2nd, am I looking at my calendar? Monday the 1st, sorry, will be the month end for the month of May. And the group has been sharing all the necessary information about the importance of different competitions, etc., etc. So, Bobby Hammond, can you just give us a little bit of a rundown on who you are? You are a pharmacist by profession. You
Yep.
are incredible Iron Man. Is that right? I always get it wrong.
Yeah, I am triathletes, and I am in fact training again for half Ironman this year. So yeah.
And a health um what do we
Health
I'm
and
sorry, I'm being
wellness
very
coach.
blank. Say it for
Yeah,
us, Bob.
it's a health and wellness coach. Yeah.
I would left out the wellness, and you are the up and coming in future, the best right now health and wellness coach in South Africa. We are very privileged to have you. So over
Thanks.
to you, Bobby Hammond.
Thanks. Let me just see if I can share the screen and can get going. Right. Have I got sharing rights, Rob?
Rob,
Yeah,
is sharing going?
yeah, you just say share, and then I'll just give it to you.
Okay.
So we always have our little technical hitches, but I notice that even the top podcasters in the world have technical hitches. So it's all part of the learning game. Oh, hello, Samsung. I think that's Beatrice. Good morning.
It's working, Bob.
No, I'm getting it's defaulting to a different thing at the moment, so I'm not sure why. We need to
Oh
see.
dear.
Unless they've changed something. But before you just said share, and then I would just allow it.
Yeah.
Are we going to come right with it?
I'm sure.
Should we switch off the record and we'll start the record again when we get it up and running?
I'll pause it.
Thank you. Beatrice, is that you, darling?
Right, let's go.
All right, so we're back on, and we say thank you for the little bit of time spent to get things going correctly, in spite of the technical hitch. So, without much more ado, I'm handing over to Bobby Hammond, Near Life Products, Core Products, and the Daily Pro Vitality. Let's go.
Thanks very much. Yeah, it's good again, I think, to present on a topic like this, because I think there's so much basic information in here that we can actually make, really good use of, and also just the basic principles behind this. So, just looking at the near life products, core products, and then this whole topic of daily vitality, and understanding and recommending what is termed the foundational wellness pack, and we'll share that pack as we go through the presentation. It's basically for us to understand this wellness range, these three different products that are foundational to fairly consistent daily use in terms of you making yourself or helping yourself to be a whole lot more healthy, and looking a little bit more how we can confidently recommend this pack and how we go about it. So, I'm going to be looking just at things like the key points of the various products, some of the fast facts about them, and then really, I suppose, the positioning of the product and how when you interact with people, how you can look to best recommending them. So why does, foundational nutrition actually matter? And it's really, important to understand the background to this as to why these products are so effective. And, most people today, as you've seen with me present, I think many times, are not getting the optimal nutrition. And there are various reasons for that. Either there's, and not really either, generally there is a lot of stress. We live with chronic stress, even though we don't realize it. The processed foods themselves, which have such poor nutritional value and quality in them, most people do not actually sleep well. And it's interesting, when I coach, two of the main things that I come across are stress and sleep, which are issues which impact on everything else in your life. And there isn't a person I haven't coached yet who we haven't had to deal with that. So those are incredibly, and they also impact incredibly on your general health and how you are actually eating, and how well you are absorbing the food that you are actually eating. Our busy lifestyles obviously make a big contribution as well. And, certain people also have different nutritional needs in terms of, for instance, sportsmen, people who may have other problems that they are dealing with, the health problems that they're dealing with. So foundation nutrition supports long-term health and wellness. And, we're looking at an overall thing which we can use for a long period of time and which supports what we're eating. And again, everything I always try and stress as well, you can't supplement yourself out of ill health. You need to use a combination of both. So you need to be looking after your lifestyle while you are supplementing. But because of the very many stresses we have in our life today, supplementation and this wellness pack is what's so important. And it bridges that nutritional gap which we have because of the poor nutrition or the poor food quality, I guess, at the end of the day, that we have, and the stresses around us. And daily wellness starts with consistent foundational nutrition. So you've got to find a way to be able to know that either you're going to eat really well and you're going to be able to provide all that, or you need to actually use supplements to add what is missing. And we focus always on whole food and food state nutrients, which are so important as far as any kind of thing that you're going to be taking in that's going to be absorbed and used properly by your body. And with Neolife, we have products that support the body at the cellular level, and we'll describe a little bit about that as we go through. And this, when we're using simple systems, it creates an easy way for long-term compliance and results. So with this wellness pack, it provides us with something that we can give to people that enables them to have something that's easy to use, that they will use because it's easy to use, and they will get results out of it. So what is the core daily wellness pack? We look at three particular products, which we're going to look at in this presentation. Pro Vitality, which is that, and it's one of the most comprehensive daily nutrition and cellular protection products we can get. If you can't use anything else, use Pro Vitality. It's one of those that covers a really nice broad base and is a tremendous as far as your nutrition is concerned. And then we look at TreeNN, one of our incredibly unique products, goes back to the cellular energy and membrane support. And as we describe with that, where it is so important is that you must remember that all the energy you get for your daily functions, what you do on a daily basis and how your body works, comes from the mitochondria. So you need to have healthy cells which can get rid of the toxic substances and absorb what they need to be absorbing. And this is a lot of what TreeNN does, helps us do that so that we can develop strong, healthy cells and mitochondria. And then there's the protein shakes, which provides a balanced nutrition. It also is something that helps keep us satisfied because of the combination of the ingredients in that. And it obviously then gives strong metabolic support in order to keep us energized and have vitality through the day. So together, these three products create a powerful foundational wellness system. And we'll talk about how we maybe use one or a combination of each of these towards the end. So looking at Pro Vitality, it's an advanced daily wellness system because it combines things like omega-3s, your carotenoids, your antioxidants, and multivitamins. So it has a broad range of nutrient support that you can get from it. It also supports cardiovascular system, and because again of the combination of the ingredients, it'll give you immune support and also obviously promote cellular health. It's designed to be a comprehensive daily protection and vitality. So again, as I say, you know, Pro Vitality, as the name implies, it's something that you can use on a daily basis, which will provide a really strong foundation in terms of your nutrition is concerned. It's a convenient all-in-one foundational system because you've got all of these products in one product. And it helps combat things like this oxidative stress and inflammation. And where that's so important is that oxidative stress is what's causing so much of your aging. So if you can slow that down, you have something that's going to, combat and reduce how quickly people age. And people who look after their lifestyle, use antioxidants and so on, are people who end up that they age less quickly than many others. And the inflammation is obviously, if you can reduce that, you can reduce the majority of what's causing your illness and poor health. It also supports energy, performance, and recovery, just again because of the combination of all the different things that it combines, your omega-3s, your carotenoids, your multivitamins, and so on. It has a complete base of nutrition for you, and it's ideal for nearly every adult looking to improve long-term wellness. A product that everybody can actually make use of, and that's why I said at the beginning, if there's nothing else you can use Pro Vitality. It's food state, which is, again, something that's key that we need to obviously help people understand when we promote it to them, is that food state, whole food inspired nutrition. And that's important because that's what enables us to absorb it way more quickly. Our products are all evidence-based. It's a comprehensive formula that we have in our Pro Vitality, and something that we can, with confidence, recommend to people. Then looking at TNN, the product, as I say, I mentioned at the beginning, which has, so it's a unique product for one. It contains the grain lipid concentrates, which most of the products that we get, for instance, the breads, all the other products that have our grains in, they've removed the lipids, and the important part of the product, it is gone. It's no longer in that food. So, we need a product like this, TNN, which has this product in. And that product, again, is, we talk about the cellular health, going back to the thing where it makes sure that our cells are in fact functioning correctly. And of course, then that means that our mitochondria can actually develop and also function properly. And it's quite interesting. I was actually watching a lady doing running and doing a thing, telling us about this thing of running slowly and why it's so important, because that also helps build the mitochondria. And we don't realize how important that is, because that is what gives us the energy for life. And that's why this product at the end of the day is also so important. It's one of Neolife's most distinctive products, and you'll see very often in the initial packs, very often it's one of those things for very good reason that we have to promote and can use as a basis product for so much else. So why recommend TNN? It supports the body at the foundational cellular level, which we've described, I think, in terms of how it works with the mitochondria. It's very useful during periods of stress, fatigue, and also recovery. And because it helps with the energy, you can understand why it would help with that. It complements our active lifestyles and aging wellness needs. As you're getting older, your mitochondria are reducing. You need to find some way to help you improve that situation. And it enhances the body's ability to function more efficiently, simply because it is something that works with improving the energy and your mitochondrial energy cells that are there to produce that activity for life. So TNN's key points: it's a whole food derived lipid concentrate, a unique formulation that's very difficult to replicate elsewhere. We can't get it in most of our grains because it's been taken out for life or shelf life reasons, and so that food doesn't go rancid and it lasts longer on the shelf. That's one of the major reasons they take it out. And it's obviously not the right thing to be doing. It supports energy and vitality naturally. As I say, it's a food state, whole food product. and it's excellent for long-term wellness support. These are things that you can speak to people about and actually mention to them when you are talking about the product. And when we look at the Neolife protein shakes, and just some of the information about that is that it's a balanced protein which also contains vitamins, minerals, and fiber. So it's a pretty balanced thing. And, I remember using this. I use it very often, sometimes as a recovery drink after a heavy training session, because it is just such a good, protein source, as well as obviously all the other things. And also with a lot of cancer patients that I, have worked with within my own experience, we use this very often as a meal replacement. It's so good. And in preference to many of the other prescribed products, believe it or not. It supports lean muscle mass. It helps keep your hunger satisfied, and it also promotes metabolic wellness. And that's just, again, because of the balance of the nutrients that it has in a healthy lifestyle eating. You need to be able to be trying to balance your sugar so that you have a level, sugar balance throughout it. And that actually goes a long way to keeping you not only healthy, but preventing all the inflammation and the problems that come with that. So it's an incredibly good product to be using. It's also incredibly convenient. It can be used as a meal or snack, and I've already shown you that we use it as meal replacements. I use it as a recovery drink very often after training, and it's incredibly good for that. It's designed also for sustained energy and blood sugar support, which is pretty much what I explained, and how important that is in terms of your overall general health and your metabolic health. Why recommend the shakes? It helps people achieve balanced nutrition, just again because of that balance of the various ingredients that we have in it. It's very convenient for busy lifestyles, and you can often, let people rather use something like this in preference to just reaching for the next fast food snack or whatever it is. Way better to use something like this. It supports weight management and health and healthy body composition. And we spoke about the lean muscle mass. That's always it's a really important thing, which again, it's a whole topic all on its own that can be looked at. It's useful also for active individuals and prevents aging again, or helps counter aging. It's very difficult to say prevents aging, but it does certainly counter it. And that's anything that you do that's fighting the antioxidants, or is working as an antioxidant, is going to be working in that way. So protein shake, some of the key points about it. It's a high quality protein that we with confidence can actually promote. It's again food state nutritional support. Everything that we do goes back to the food state whole food. It's a convenient, quick and versatile way of being able to provide meals. And it's also cost effective to compare when we compare it to, as I've intimated, to unhealthy convenience meals, which very often we reach for because we haven't got something ready to eat. So looking at things like our food state nutrition and efficacy and why that's so important, all of our Neolife products emphasize nutrition in the form, it's always close to nature. We can trace everything back. We know that it's a product that is whole food, and it's designed obviously to work better with the body. The body doesn't take well to all these foreign chemicals that they are putting into them. When it gets something that it recognizes like whole food state, it's going to absorb it one heck of a lot better. And this also obviously supports the absorption. Our body can then use it more effectively. And that goes back to that whole food philosophy that differentiates Neolife from most other supplements. And, I've done studies where I've looked at that, and there isn't really anything else that actually compares quite to the level that Neolife does it. So this makes it in actual fact cost effective and value for money, because we're investing in wellness that can first of all reduce long-term health costs and problems. The formulas that we use reduce the need for using multiple products, and Pro Vitality is an example of that. It provides that daily wellness support, which we can then consistently use something and be compliant. It's easier to have something that it's convenient and easy to use. You're going to use it. When it becomes difficult, you don't use it. And that's as we see with anything in the health coaching world. If you don't make things that it's convenient for people and that they're going to like it, they're not going to do it. So, we need to find things that help them to do that. Our ingredients also of the highest quality that we have for everything that we put in Neolife. So how do we go about recommending this on a daily basis, or this wellness pack that we have? Start with foundational wellness before you start messing with all sorts of other products. Work with foundational stuff. So that's why we say, look at the Pro Vitality, look at things like the TNN, two highly recommended foundational products, and keep your recommendations simple and practical so that people can in actual fact do them, that it's possible for them to do it. Just think about that from a practical perspective. And always focus on being, the consistency and the long-term wellness benefits, because them being consistent and using it on an ongoing basis is going to provide way more benefit. So how do we go about this? The simple recommendation strategy is that as a foundation nutrition, use Pro Vitality, suggest and use Pro Vitality. When you can, add the TNN, because as we've said, that supports so much the cellular and the energy, the vitality side of things. And then if you want something in terms of a meal replacement, or to just help for recovery and so on, include the protein shakes for the daily nutrition and consistency. And that can be used as an added thing related to weight maintenance as well. So just think about that. There's a lot of different ways that you can, in actual fact, use these products, and build from the foundation based on individual goals. So again, look at what's happening with the person you're talking to. And we need to, in that respect also, make sure that we listen to what they're saying. And you will find that out if you just sit down and take a bit of time to talk to the person and ask them a number of questions. The important thing also about Neolife products is that we have a belief and confidence in a product that really works because it's science-based. We know that through the scientific advisory board, they put a lot of time and effort into making sure that we have things that work and not just put together for the sake of selling something. It's high quality and it's whole food nutrition. And the products that we sell are designed for long-term wellness support. They're evidence-based formulations. And again, as I say, they have the strictest GMP standards that are followed. And we can have confidence that comes from understanding that philosophy, and also that we get results from the products that we promote, because we know that they work and they are quality, well-backed products. So in conclusion, let's look at that. The foundation nutrition is really important, based on, as I said, back to the fact that we do not get sufficient nutrition out of our daily meals that we have, and also because of the lifestyles that we live. Simple daily systems create long-term success. So when things are easy to do, people will do them. Neolife's core products support that wellness at the cellular level because they work in a way that they are absorbed correctly into the system, that they can provide the support and the nutrients that we need. And consistency is always really important because that's what gives you sustainable goals. And I think, the thing that so much of that we can take away from all of this is that, we have a product that we can be confident in. We have a product that we know is of the highest standard, and it's things that we can look at practically that can be promoted to people that we know are going to help them. It's not just to sell them something, it's to give them something that will help them. And you guys as well, where a lot of your confidence also, I think, and so on comes in, is from the fact that the philosophy with Neolife is we want you to use the product. We want you to know as well that it works. So yeah, that's pretty much as I have to present today. And we have a basic, that basic wellness pack, which is there, and an incredible tool that we have in our toolkit. So thank you very much. Anybody got any questions they'd like to ask?
First thing I was going to say, thank you, Bob. We can't thank you enough, Bobby Hammond, for your amazing presentation. I can listen to it over and over. I have one question. You said some GMP standards.
Yep.
What does that stand for, Bob?
It's good manufacturing practice. So, that's one of the things with Neolife products is so many of the supplements made today are very often made in such a way that they're not forced by legislation to follow all of these good manufacturing practices, and good manufacturing practices are what are used in the pharmaceutical arena, where they've got to, comply with huge quality standards. A lot of supplements don't do that. A lot of them are learning now to do it. Neolife does it by default. They have the highest GMP standards. They'll compete with any of the best manufacturers in the world. That's how good they are.
It's amazing. But thank you, because that leads into my next question. When we are competing with protein shakes, which seem to be a lot maybe cheaper. I don't know. I haven't done I haven't done the diligence yet to make. I doubt that at the end of the day, when you look at the whole difference, whether they are that much cheaper, except that they won't have as much in them, and the source of what they're using to make them, it might be suspect. Do you have any comments on that? Because it's a huge market out there, Bob.
It's an absolutely huge market, and I think the thing is as well is to remember, going back to those two things that we have food state whole food products. So that makes the big difference. A lot of the stuff where they can make it, even with a lot of the vitamins, they can make it a lot cheaper, because many of those things are formulated as a chemical in a factory somewhere in large scale. So you can make the active ingredient a little bit more cheaply. The problem with that is that, and that's where the cost effectiveness with any food state whole food product comes in, you're not going to absorb half of that stuff. So in fact, it may seem cheaper, becomes more expensive at the end of the day, because it's not doing you any good. You're not actually absorbing it. Your body's not able to use it correctly. So you're not going to get the benefit from it. So, why pay the money? You're not going to get the benefit. Pay the money for something that's going to, as I say, buy quality. And that's the bottom line with, and with our protein shakes as well. That's what I say, even things, and I'm not really going to name a couple of them, but there are those that, they recommend within the pharmaceutical market in hospitals, in hospital diets, which are not as good as the Neolife product.
Answered the question perfectly. Thank you. Any more?
Yeah, so for me, the big thing from the marketing speak, as it were, that always talk about what is a differentiator. So two of the big differentiators are the whole food states. And the one probably we don't always get our head around, a lot of people don't understand, is that that Neolife follows the best manufacturing processes. Also, what was the word you used, Bob?
What's it to do with like the GMP? So we're looking at so it's good manufacturing practice. So let's say, that aside from the fact that even further into the GMP philosophy is that going, tracing of your source ingredients. And with Neolife, we know where those things come from. They can trace it down to the field where it came from. It's not like I can tell you, well, it came from Spain. They'll tell you where they can actually trace it to where it came from, and they can guarantee that it is proper quality stuff that you're using. So, that's as I say, just the back end of that whole quality process. We know what we're promoting. It's high quality stuff.
Awesome. Meryl, have you got a question, Marion? Okay, I hear you.
That shake is fantastic, and actually I must order another one, Monica.
Okay.
Yeah, they're quick to put together, and you add a banana or something and make it a bit fruity. It's divine. And yeah, it helps me a lot for my lunch. You have a little lunch, and that's that. And the other things are probably cheaper, the other shakes, but I think we've got a lot more vitamins and stuff in it that makes it more desirable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's what I say, even using them for, confidently being able to, for instance, give them to a cancer patient who needs that nutrition. It's way better than any of the others that are on the market for that kind of thing.
So, Bobby, I want to say thank you again. We are edified, we are educated, we edify you. We thank you for what you're doing for us with these morning trainings. And I think you've given excellent food for thought, as well as things to put together in our heads for promoting of these products. And let's all
Yeah.
get out there and do as much as we can. New month is starting soon, and there's lots of work to be done. So I wish you all a wonderful, happy day. And this will be shared up onto the